Thank you for joining us for this webinar today on Salesforce for Venture Capital and Private Equity. At the beginning of every presentation, we have to show you our safe harbor statement. We're a publicly traded company, and this safe harbor statement is available on our website in the Investor Relations section. We have a great webinar for you. We have a lineup of not only customers, but also industry leaders talking a little bit about Salesforce for Venture Capital and Private Equity. We'll start off today's agenda with an overview of Salesforce for Private Equity and Venture Capital. We'll show you some live software of Salesforce configured for the industry. We'll hear from a customer, Roderick O'Connor from Blum Capital Partners. And then we'll also hear from Dow Jones, Vince Meza, who's the Director of Business Development of Products for Private Equity and Venture Capital. So to start off, and by way of introduction, my name is Rennie Monahan. I'm the Vice President of Financial Services here at Salesforce.com. And I want to take just a few moments to talk a little bit about Salesforce for Venture Capital and Private Equity. We know that you as private equity and venture capital firms face many challenges. You have a broad set of partners, you have many associates, you have obviously many syndicate members and limited partners. And today you're faced with many homegrown solutions to help manage this information and manage these relationships which are so critical to your business. And many of these homegrown solutions are ineffective or time-consuming, and they don't really scale with your business and don't allow you to collaborate across the different constituencies in your business. And so you've invested in technology with more disappointing results than success, where you've really been trying to centralize and share information and streamline processes, and in many cases tried to implement a CRM system of varying types of technologies. And inevitably, these systems really didn't facilitate that collaboration, very, very complicated, and with that comes a very poor adoption, and it wasn't really adaptable to your business needs. And it's really because the desktop and client-server technology leveraged today doesn't deliver. It's very expensive to maintain and upgrade. Gartner feels that 8 out of $10 that you spend on IT is really dead money just to keep the lights on. That doesn't leave very much in there for innovation or to adapt technology to your business process. This technology is also very complicated and as such, drives very poor user adoption. And when you look at this world is really focused more on delivering features and functions as opposed to driving usability. And it really slows down your speed to market. Much of the old technology models were very difficult and time-consuming to change. And in the venture capital private equity business, you need to be able to adapt and be nimble with your technology platforms to support your business. And what we've seen is a broad adoption of software as a service or Salesforce.com into the financial services space. And this is happening not just in the private equity and the venture capital space, but across all different types of business, whether that's in banking or wealth management or capital markets, in the insurance space or in the lending space. There's more than 1,600 financial services customers. And with the software as a service model and Salesforce.com, it scales very easily for companies of all sizes. So whether you're the world's largest financial services companies like Japan Post or Citi Smith Barney or Merrill Lynch, or you're a small investment advisor company like Net Worth, or you're a fund of funds like Parrish Capital, all that same technology and capability scales very easily regardless of the size of your company. And so what's different? Why has this new technology been so different than before? Well, this new technology is called software as a service. And if you take a look at the 3 major technology paradigms that have evolved since technology has been really been used in business, you'll see the difference. The first technology era that we've seen was the mainframe era. This came in the mid-20th century, and we saw companies like IBM and Digital and many other companies that don't exist today, that grew into be giants of the industry. We saw this shift in technology paradigms to client servers that took the technology not just in the accounting and the back office, but brought it to end users. And this is what powered a huge boom in technology that grew companies the size of Oracle or SAP or Microsoft based on this technology. And now we see a new paradigm that's been emerging based around the Internet, and new giant companies as well established, companies like Google or eBay or Amazon. And that's really been focused on the consumer side. And what Salesforce.com, what our mission is really to take all of the best of what the Internet has taught us about this software as a service model and bring that to the enterprise or, and into business. And so the software as a service model is really built on two major concepts. If we understand these, we basically have a great understanding of what this model really is. And this model is built on two major innovations. The first one is a technology model. And the technology model is a model called multi-tenancy. And this is a model that was pioneered by Google and eBay and Amazon. And this is where everybody uses the same service. So of the many thousands of companies that use the Salesforce.com service, everybody's using the same service. We're all on the same servers. This gives us the ability to immediately deploy this technology over the Internet, so you have no software, hardware, or maintenance to worry about. You can configure your application to fit your specific business needs, and you can have it sized specific to your needs. Also, because everybody's using that same service, we upgrade that service 3 to 4 times a year, and when those upgrades happen, everybody gets upgraded at the same time, and their customizations and integrations never break. So it's a significant change over the past two technology models, and really has been proven to us as the new model of the future. The second innovation is really around the business model. And in the old world where, if you had mainframe or client server, you had a lot of investment into the infrastructure. You had investment with the software. You were given the CDs and, hopefully you implemented that properly. In the new software as a service model, the software service model is based around subscriptions. And so it aligns the vendor with your success. So Salesforce.com is most interested in having our customers renew. So we constantly have a conversation with our customers about how we can improve our service, how we can help them implement it more smoothly, and drive more success in their business. And these two models work very closely together. Our multi-tenant technology model that's upgraded 3 to 4 times a year gives us a great opportunity to listen to our customers, respond, and make changes in the service, and it builds an incredible amount of loyalty and partnership with our customers. And as a result, that adoption of the software as a service model has been tremendous. Over the past 9 years, the model has gained adoption not just in small business, but in medium-sized business, in enterprise, and the largest companies in the world. Today, there's more than 47,000 paying customers, more than 1 million paying subscribers, and this year, Salesforce.com is on track to reach $1 billion run rate in our fiscal year this year. And so really what the Salesforce.com offering is based on 2 pillars. The first one is the award-winning CRM suite that's won every major award, and it has solutions for sales, marketing, service. It also has solutions for interacting with your partners, all delivered on mobile devices. 2 new innovative applications are included are around managing content and managing ideas or innovation inside and outside of your company. Integrations with the other major software as a service providers like Google with their Google applications and their marketing applications, and also with vendors and partners that are building on top of the foundation of those applications, which is the Force.com platform. And the Force.com platform is that multi-tenant model that allows Salesforce.com to build our CRM applications, and it also empowers our customers or our partners or developers to tailor the CRM applications or build their own totally new applications right on top of the platform, all leveraging the software as a service or what's called platform as a service, and what is being defined now as what's called cloud computing. All of those applications in the platform all runs on our global secure infrastructure that's trusted by the world's largest financial services firms. This gives our customers of all sizes, 5 users, 50, or 50,000 users, the same level of performance, scalability, disaster recovery, and backup capability. And at the bottom of the slide here, you can see that we've had all of our financial services customers evaluate and review our application for our application stack, our networks, and our facilities. And we've received the highest certifications not only from industry standards, but from our customers. And so all of this is what powers solutions for private equity and venture capital firms. And this enables business processes and streamlines operations when dealing with general partners, associates, and the fundraising and limited partner parts of your business. And without spending too much time on this slide here, I want to get right into the live demo, and I'm going to have Eric Youll walk us through Salesforce configured for private equity and venture capital firms.
Great. Thank you, Rennie. Let me walk you through what I'm going to show you today at a high level. You're seeing the Salesforce.com home screen. I'm logged in as Peter Smith today. We're going to show you how your business can be managed and automated using Salesforce.com with a focus on collaboration, institutionalizing your relationships, and organizing your information. We'll talk about relationships and activity tracking, fundraising, deal tracking, as well as our ability to integrate with the industry standard data sources, just like Dow Jones. If you like what you see at the end of the demo, you'll be able to sign up for a free trial, a free 30-day trial of the private equity and venture capital edition of Salesforce.com. So as we go through this application, just an orientation initially, you'll see tabs across the top where we store our data. Our relationships is going to be our limited partners and our portfolio companies and our intermediaries like banks and legal firms. Contacts, the people who work there. Our LP opportunities are those fundraising opportunities, and then capital calls, documents, and reports and dashboards. Dashboards, we see a sliver of those right here. It's just a roll-up summary, just like you would see in Excel charts, of your data in Salesforce.com. Here we have our top 5 deals, a deal overview looking at all of our partners' names and what they're working on in terms of pipeline, and then looking at our intermediaries, for example, to see who the top referral sources are. On the left-hand side, we've got a Google-like search. It's going to work just like Google, where you type in a part of an LP's name or a company's name, and you'll find the results in Salesforce. And then as we scroll down here, we get our first snippet or view into industry standard data sources, just like Dow Jones VentureWire, Dow Jones Private Equity Analysis. We can pull in those RSS feeds into Salesforce.com because we're a Web 2.0 application, and here we see today's news along these channels. Salesforce.com is already integrated with Outlook and Lotus Notes, so whether you want to sync in your tasks, your to-do items, ticklers that are in Salesforce or Outlook, and sync your calendar items here, your meetings, or your contacts. So task, calendar, and contacts can all be synced bidirectionally with Lotus Notes and Outlook out of the box, as well as we can capture your emails. I personally use Outlook to send my emails, and I archive those in Salesforce just with a click of a button from within Outlook. So what we're going to do here today is walk through the dashboards, and we'll get the big picture of Salesforce.com. So right now we're going to start with a fundraising dashboard. We've actually got a whole slew of dashboards we can pick from. We'll look at deal overview dashboard next. The idea is you can have as many dashboards as you want to look at your business along as many lines as you want. It might be by industry, it might be by company type, it might be by LP. For this example, the fundraising dashboard covers things like committed capital by LP, the fundraising pipeline, how we're doing for each of our funds and the goals we're trying to attain, and then top fundraising opportunities. So as we go through the dashboards, we'll find that this is just a brainstorm, what you could be using for Salesforce.com. A powerful aspect of the dashboards is you can actually customize them yourself. You'll find the edit button right here, and then also drill into any one of these pictures and see the report behind it. And if we click on this report, we'll find an easy spreadsheet-like view of your fundraising data. And here we've got our columns of data that are customizable by you, grouped by the different fundraising stages. And so the idea here is you can adjust as a user, not IT, just the business user can go in here and adjust what the report should look like using this customize button right here. An additional feature of being able to drill down is you can actually go one level deeper and drill into an actual fundraising opportunity. So we'll just click down in here, and we'll be taken to our LP Opportunities tab, specifically the Teachers Pension Fund, Mezzanine Fund 1 investment that they're considering. So we're in a stage of legal review right now. The goal that we're thinking that we might come to an agreement on is $25 million, and we're going to track different types of fields like new investor, where did the referral come in from, and we track all those key attributes about this particular fundraising opportunity, as well as everybody we know who's related to this opportunity. So who do we know over at Teachers Pension Fund, the different client and consultant relationships, so Prime Asset Consulting is their consultant, and then follow-up meetings and reminders, and then activity history. This is the one-stop shop for everything that's going on with this particular fundraising opportunity. We fully intend for you to take this and make what you want with it. And the way you do that is your administrator actually has the power to customize these screens. In the setup menu, I'll take you through a 45-second tour of changing the fields. Let's say we wanted a new field called percent confidence or confidence level. How confident are we in this particular opportunity? I'll go to my new custom fields down here on my opportunity, click on new, and we're going to add a pick list. And here you can see we have a whole bunch of different types of fields we can add. I'm going to say confidence level is the name of my field, and I'll just say low, medium, and high. And you, of course, can decide what your field should be. It takes only about 45 seconds to create these fields. We'll click on Next. We'll decide who's allowed to see these fields in terms of our different user groups. We'll click on Next again and decide which types of opportunities this field belongs to, and we'll click on Save. And so we're done. We've changed our database. We're going to go back to Teachers Pension Fund. And right here you'll have confidence level, and it's usable right away without logging off, without rebooting, none of that. Any customizations you make in Salesforce.com are automatically protected from the automatic upgrades we do for you 3 times a month. That's one of the benefits that Brenny talked about being a multi-tenant system. We're taking care of the back end for you. We're tuning it for performance. We're managing amazing levels of security for our most demanding clients and sharing it with you. So from here, let's go back up into the business level and talk about, we have the story here. We're working on a particular fundraising opportunity with Teachers Pension Fund. Let's now segue up and look at the overall view. How do we know this LP? What do we know about this LP? Who are we working with? So now we're on the LP view of the overall fund, and we'll look at, again, who do we know? We have an assembly of everybody they work with. Prime Asset Consulting has been their consultant on 2 different opportunities, and Morgan Stanley is their advisor. We see the history of those 2 opportunities right here, and we see a roll-up right here of all activities, whether they correspond to one opportunity or another, or just a regular contact in the system. And of course, you get an aggregate view of your activity history. So when I talk about collaboration, no matter who you are, the Peter Smiths that I'm logged in as right now, or your legal team, or the associates who might have logged notes against this particular opportunity, they're all going to have their activities recorded in here, so you can now have an institutionalized view, an understanding of your relationship with this particular LP, so that this can be saved for posterity. You can always go back and click on View All and see, well, what did I say 3 weeks ago to this person in that email? It's all going to be stored in here, and it gets put in here automatically, like these emails, right from our Outlook integration. So let's transition here and flip over to the investor or the investment side. We'll be looking at deals. And what this changes primarily when we change application is the tabs. We care about different tabs when we're on a different side of the business. We also care about different dashboards. So I'll customize this page maybe and say, well, me as a user, I want to see the deal overview dashboard. So I can change that right there. And actually, I was already on that dashboard, but you can see the flexibility there in the demonstration. So the idea is users can customize their own view of the dashboard and customize their own view of the tabs across the top. We'll start back at dashboards again, and we'll look at the deal overview dashboard in its entirety. So what we have here, we see these familiar dashboards. They were visible on our home page because I, as a user, chose to put them on my home page. I also, as a user, have the opportunity, like I mentioned, to customize my dashboards to reflect my world, me as a partner, me as an associate. People often will use these to see, who, in terms of LPs or in terms of portfolio companies, who have I not talked to lately? When was the last time I talked to somebody? Let me make sure I always am in touch with my key contacts at these different firms. Scrolling down here, other views, we talked about understanding the importance of the relationships that we have with not just portfolio companies, but with also referral sources. So we have this value here, or this dashboard here, that shows us a roll-up of this information as stored in Salesforce.com in individual fields across all of our investments. We're tracking who the referrer was. We just have a report behind this picture that gives us that information. And then understanding total fees. Who have we brought the most business to? Morgan Stanley is apparently our closest partner at this point, with us having brought them $7.7 million. You can adjust these, as I mentioned, and you can also drill down no matter what the dashboard is. Again, we can drill down into this particular example, looking at our pipeline. What is our deal pipeline? And for what period? Looking at all deals where the close date is the current and next fiscal quarter, where it's the next 120 days. You can adjust these time frames to rerun your reports and adjust which data you'll see in the system. Again, let's just drill down into, from the deal side, let's look at one particular investment. Here's a $300 million investment into Universal Containers, and it's from our mezzanine fund. All these hyperlinks that you're seeing throughout the application are all enabled or put in place for you to store your data in an organized way. I can flip over to any one of these hyperlinks just by clicking on them and see the perspective from the portfolio company, from the fund, which portfolio companies I invested in, and in this case, from the investment, which fund and target company is it related to. So this is your one-stop shop, just like the fundraising opportunity was where you would go to track all your correspondence and organization and information about a particular opportunity. On the investment side here, we'll be tracking the same thing. You can customize these fields just like we did on the opportunity. And then when it comes to additional information that's really important that we track about these investments, enter in your financials right here and track on a quarterly basis. No using a spreadsheet per firm. Just put your information in Salesforce.com and store it, and everybody will know where they can find it, and then you can also make reports and dashboards off of all the data you enter. Tracking your fees is done right here. All of these entries right here roll up into that dashboard that we covered. You'll find open activities, reminders, and activity history throughout the application, and that way you can record a note against a particular investment. If you just want to jot something down quickly, just click on Log a Call, jot down your note, and it happened today. I'm Peter Smith. Here is what I wanted to write. And then down below here, we're going to schedule a follow-up task. So if I need to get somebody else involved, I can put my associate's name in here, another partner that I work with, and ask him or her to get involved in the deal. Or if it's just a reminder for me, I'll put the subject, follow-up call, and I'll put the due date and click on Save. And Salesforce.com is going to pop up a reminder on the day of this due date at 8 a.m. saying, Peter, please call this customer or call this client about the investment. Click on Save, and here you can see how we're developing that activity history. I'm just not going to scroll this time. I'm just going to go up here to find the same information I was finding while I was scrolling. My financials, my fees. So there's usability features built throughout the application to make the data easy to use. So jot down your notes right here, open activities. We've got that follow-up call right here. From here, of course, we can then go back up to the target company. Notice there's a different layout here than there was when we were looking at Teachers Pension Fund. We care about different fields when it's a portfolio company versus an LP. And so you can customize these fields so they are arranged properly or according to your requirements. And we're going to also, just like any other system, want to maintain, who do we know at Universal Containers, who are their relationships, and then what investments have we made, just like we saw over on the LP side. An additional feature, we talked about Dow Jones News integration on the home page. We'll see that also. Let's say I want to look up information on Axel Partners. They're an investor in this existing firm. We might just pull up information down in here that's information streaming directly from Dow Jones. So looking at a profile of a particular company. Who do we know at the company? Any fundraising activity, we can find that information all streamed automatically into this page, rendered at the time we actually pull this screen up. So it's dynamically being pulled from Dow Jones. That's just one example of how the data can be integrated into Salesforce.com, and we saw before how that's visible on the home page with these RSS feeds and the that we covered before. So thank you very much, and I'll pass it over to Roderick at this point, who's going to talk to you about Blum Capital and how he's used the same platform for his business in private equity and asset management. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Eric. Here at Blum Capital, we are strategic value investors. We primarily take large, long-term investments in public companies, and where appropriate, we can take those public companies private. We have approximately 450 limited partners across 40 funds and managed accounts. Within those 450 limited partners, we probably have about 5,000 contact points that we have to manage. And we selected Salesforce in 2005 to help with that process. Back in 2004, we didn't have any central databases managing our investor relations. We had a combination of Excel spreadsheets, Outlook, and Exchange public folders. And our distribution of performance on a monthly and quarterly basis was a very complex process. A lot of our distribution was paper and then FedEx. And we wanted to move to electronic distribution. We selected Interlinks as our LP portal, as it was used by several of our institutional LPs. What we needed was a CRM system to manage the relationship between our investments LPs and the contacts at those LPs. Given the size of our firm of about 50 employees, we had a small IT organization, so we didn't want to get encumbered with a complex system. I had previously used Salesforce at a global investment bank where I implemented it for 250 users. So I felt very comfortable selecting Salesforce as the platform for that. We had several issues that I had to sell internally, or concerns with going with a SaaS architecture. Those namely were security, flexibility, and integration. I addressed those by performing due diligence with Salesforce's executive and reviewing their security platform. And I came to the conclusion that they had far more resource they could apply to the issue than I could ever assign. Flexibility was something that I was initially willing to give up some flexibility given the lower cost of ownership of a SaaS architecture. But what I have found that over time, the gap between the flexibility of an in-house solution and a SaaS solution has closed. In fact, now SaaS, I think, is greater flexibility than an in-house solution. Integration was something that also had some concern for us. But we found that Salesforce's API has been very stable and is enhanced whenever they do an upgrade. And what has been very impressive with Salesforce is the backward compatibility of that upgrade. So we can upgrade on our side of the integration in our own time. The history of the development was a continuous process here for us. In 2005, we initially implemented investor relations. We used external consultants for that project, and it was probably a complete 6-week implementation, including data migration. We also then implemented IT case and project management. We used internal resource for that, didn't use any consultants, and that probably took about 3 weeks to achieve. And we used their email to case to automatically manage our cases. Then in 2006, within the investor relations area, we added the campaigns functionality to manage our investor conferences and activity management to track all the activity that we have with our LPs. And at that point, we implemented Salesforce's Outlook integration to automatically add emails from Outlook into Salesforce. In 2007, we implemented pipeline or opportunity management to track potential investors. Again, that was probably a 3-week project just using internal resource. And this was a very good way for us to enhance user adoption in that we took small steps, and each step the user base was comfortable with the system. And one of the other great advantages for the user adoption has been that the continual upgrades to the system has added new functionality, so it's kept users interested in the system. The most recent application we've added that's been a platform development was our investment research database. This was probably the most complex for us. It was about approximately an 8-week implementation using external consultants. This gives an overview of our current use of Salesforce within our system. Within information technology, we use case management, and we implement email to case to pull in cases automatically from email requests. We build project management using custom objects and custom screens to track IT projects. Within investor relations, we started off with client performance reporting that we integrate and pushes data out to Interlink's client portal. We use opportunity management for our fundraising, and we built lead management to pull leads using web to lead from our website. And we track client conferences through the campaign management. Within our investment professional group, we use Salesforce to track our portfolio management and our pipeline management. And we use it for some compliance tracking features to track which conferences we attend. For the portfolio and pipeline management, we have quite a complex integration with Reuters XML service and our internal hosted Advent Axys portfolio accounting system. And we use Informatica's IPAC to perform this integration as a middleware. We use a combination of nightly transfer of batch data from Advent Axys and a combination of nightly batch and real-time workflow-initiated transfer from the Reuters XML service. I'll now switch over and give you a demonstration of our application. Here you see the drop-down, and this is the view that our investment professionals would see. We've simplified it as much as possible. But within the Force application, you'll see we also have an investor relations application that's more of the traditional CRM functionality. And we have the IT help desk function that uses cases, but we also use it to track POs and assets and projects. But today I'm just going to show you our investment professional database. The main core of this we track the company's clients' LPs. So within a particular company, and just point out at this point, we don't have an investment in Salesforce.com. This is just a sample data. We have customized extensively the screen. So there is a combination of drop-down pick list values, a combination of calculated fields that pulls data from child records of this system. We have links to our external system. We have a document management system called LiveLink. So we've embedded a link that takes you to the correct folder within our document management system for this record. We have areas of the account that is read-only, populated by Access and Reuters. So within this, we pull in the share price every day. We pull in the amount of shares that we own, the market capitalization, and we do some calculations. And we pull in the address, the website, and a brief description of the company. We then have custom fields to track the contextual information that Blum wants to track about this company. Some financial information. Then we have traditional contacts at that company. We then have some custom objects that track board members and affiliated parties. And the Blum holding information that shows what investments we have in the company and in which fund. And we take advantage of the activity tracking of open activities and activity history. We've built some S controls, and we have probably about 7,000 lines of S control that give us a view that our investment professionals are more used to of the data. So we take the row-based information and make it look more like a spreadsheet for the financial information. So here you should see the historic financial and the consensus estimate that we're pulling from Reuters, and giving the investment professionals the ability to enter their own estimates. We pull revenue information, cash flow, and some valuation multiples. This screen also allows the investment professionals to go in and modify a historic number if they think it's not quite correct. They can go in and enter a new number. And then the system has a hover to show what the Reuters number was and shows the impact of that change to the formula. We also built a custom tear sheet that users can print out and take into meetings when they want to discuss the company. And within this, we have any fields from the account, and we format the financial data in a way that we want. We built several custom reports that show activities that are used on our Friday company meeting reports, so the investment professionals can review the activity they've done from the prior week. And with that, I think I'll pass you back to Rennie.
Thanks, Roderick. It's very clear that you've had lots of experience with Salesforce and the Force.com platform, and it's exciting to see what you're doing in your business and using the platform capabilities of Salesforce to really support your business processes. Next, I'd like to introduce Dow Jones and Vince Meza from Dow Jones. And as much as software as a service and platform as a service has been transforming the technology landscape, data as a service has been here for quite a while, and it's been obviously a very proven model. And we're very happy today to have Dow Jones join us on the webinar. And I'd like to introduce Vince Meza, who's the Director of Business Development, and he's going to discuss a little bit about Dow Jones' offerings for private equity and venture capital companies. Vince?
Thank you, Rennie. Yes, I do want to say that we are very excited to be working with Salesforce, first of all, in this initiative. And we couldn't have better timing Dow Jones, as you may know, has many properties or titles that are directly involved with venture capital and private equity. Those include Venture Source. There's a new product out called Private Equity Source that we're in beta with perhaps many of you on the line here today. And both of these are databases that show transaction information and company profiles. Venture Sources, venture capital transactions, and Private Equity Source are buyouts. We also have a lot of news stories as well coming through LBO Wire and the Private Equity Analyst. These will give you trend and analysis on various transactions, as well as a lot of what's happening regarding fundraising and folks moving within the industry. And also related to fundraising, the Alternative Investment Program and Galantes are two resources that are widely used by the market. And what's great in terms of the timing of working with Salesforce, it is a leader as software as a service, and we are very familiar with the CRM power that it has. Dow Jones, many of our divisions use the tool to just increase our sales activities. I have also been personally involved in rolling out for our divisions in venture capital and private equity. So we're very excited to see it. We know the power of it, and we're also, real proponents of our own content, and we're excited to see that we're going to be able to integrate it with this workflow system, that will basically make it more useful and be in the environment that I think many of you will be working in. And down below, you'll be able to see if you'd like to have a trial or find out more information. Feel free to contact us, and we'll be working towards getting all these resources aligned with Salesforce.
Great. Thanks, Vince. I'm just to echo your comments, we're very excited to have Dow Jones as a partner. We already have a number of your news sources and different applications integrated with our platform that can be found on our App Exchange. And it's pretty exciting to see Eric's demo earlier in the webinar to have some of your sources already integrated and that being done very, very fast. And we're looking forward to deepening that partnership and bringing more of these solutions available to the venture capital and private equity space. So to wrap up the webinar for today, just to summarize, we've certainly looked at how software as a service has been transformational for many venture capital and private equity firms. We've also seen how business processes can be easily not only modeled in Salesforce, but extended with the Force.com platform or integrated with various sources, as Roderick O'Connor from Blum Capital had shown us, how he's been able to integrate their Salesforce.com instance with Reuters data sources, with Advent Axys, and extending it and customizing it to support their business processes. And as Eric had walked through earlier in the demonstration, all the different capabilities that are supporting general partners, associates, or the fundraising and your limited partner side of your business, and really giving you insights into your deals, tracking your fund and partner performance, driving some effective fundraising, and streamlining all of those communications. And on our website today, if you go there, you'll see there's a customer tab, there's a section underneath financial services, and there's more than 30 financial services customers that have shared their success with Salesforce, including Roderick O'Connor from Blum Capital. In addition, here are 3 other companies that are using Salesforce in the venture capital private equity world. Now, here's Bertram Capital. You can read a little bit more about their case study, but they talk about being able to track their deal flow and managing their intermediary relationships. Tiedemann Investment Group speaks about all the capabilities that they were looking for as a financial services firm being fulfilled by Salesforce.com and the software as a service model. And here's Parish Capital, which is a fund of funds looking for different tools to support their business and not only running their CRM business, but also extending it more into their operations and into the ERP side of running their fund of funds. And one of the nicest things about software as a service and Salesforce.com is that you can get started today. If you go to our website, you go to Salesforce.com, just go /FS. If you look underneath the capital markets area, you'll see there's a demo for venture capital and private equity firms. You can sign up today for a free trial and see for yourself how software as a service and Salesforce.com can help you in your business. I wanted to take a minute to thank our speakers today. I wanted to thank Eric Youll from Salesforce.com. I wanted to thank Roderick O'Connor from Blum Capital and Vince Meza from Dow Jones. Thank you very much, folks. Have a great day.